Now, as we progress through the shop, this is one of my favorite areas. This is the lodge look, or the outdoor. Anyone who loves the outdoors or who loves to hunt, this is your space. This is a warm, fuzzy feeling for you. So join me as we begin to look and see what we can do with such a look. And you don't have to have a log cabin to do this, but it's enticing to do that. This is the tree for you, and this is a magnificent tree. And when I was purchasing it, I was so excited because actually the trunk is actually done in pine. It's real pine on there, and I thought, how wonderful. How would you ever even know there's a trunk in there now that it's totally decorated? And when I started this tree, of course, you had to have the antlers in the tree. So I have the berries in here, so natural, the pine cones, and wisps of snow-colored pine branches are up there as well. But I do love having the antlers. And then I just decided, well, we've got to have our sleds, our outdoor characters, our little foxes. And on this one, we have featured the sweaters and boots, owls. There's so many birds that you can put into a look like this, and our huskies. Our huskies are here in case you're deciding to do something in Alaska. This is the place you want to start, right here. Now I'm going to give you one more pointer as I'm going through the shop about what you want to do when you're decorating the tree. By all means, have 2 ladders. Work with 2 ladders. And they don't have to all, depending on the height of your tree, of course, is what you want to consider. But when I'm coming down off the ladder, I don't want to have to drag it around to the other side of the tree. And I'm constantly, I'll do an area, I'll come down, and then I have to go around. I can't just focus on one side of the tree. I have to continue to go all the way around the tree so it is evenly balanced when I'm finished decorating it. So keep that in mind. 2 ladders, be careful. Ladders are ladders, one of our biggest public enemies. So, but keep that in mind to use 2, and it will save you a lot of wear and tear on dragging the ladder around. Now, as we come around this tree, you'll also see a great look on here. I've even got my nutcrackers in here. Anything, this is though the joy of working with an artificial tree. Unfortunately, you can't get away with as much of this when you're working with a real tree as to what you can plant in here, and you know it's going to stay. But I have my nutcrackers buried in here as well, has different sleighs and sleds and all. And the bells are just so popular, whether you're doing them in silver or white. It's the look, and it helps to complement. You just think about those horses going through the snow with the old Budweiser ad and the bells ringing. That's just all part of this. Now, we're going to go back one step further, and I'm going to show you this wreath. This is a 72-inch wreath. It does have the lights on it, but again, I carried my theme, and in this one I used the pheasant feathers, the antlers, berries again, and the cotton bolls are in. That's the most important look, it seems like, for the past year. It's going to continue and continue and continue, but the cotton bolls are just absolutely stunning because it's a year-round piece, so it can carry you into the spring as well as into these fall and then winter months. But this particular piece, I even took, with this one, I was able to decorate inside the wall. So I have my clock right there, and look at my topper here with the deer, the wolf, and the bear. And then on top of that is my little owl. How quaint, wonderful. Anyway, as you're looking at this, again, I have to approach this wreath just like I do the tree. So I do the topper first, and then I work my way around. And I've got my big balls on here as well as my small ones, and the big ones are going to go on first, so I make sure that there is a space for them. Now, behind me, you're going to see something. This is just such a new look this year, all these lighted pieces that at night and your rooms are dark and all, and you have the starry glow of pieces such as this. They're battery operated but easy to use. And all my animals, no home should be without a moose hanging on the wall. So this is my friend Fred the moose, and I just dearly love him. But he complements the deer that I also have in here. Now, something else that's really important to me when you're doing your decorating is to have the proper garlands, to have pieces that go not only on the mantles, but on sideboards and consoles, but also over mirrors and pictures. And so we have such a wide assortment, and they're easy to use. They're lightweight. Not everything has to be a heavy 9-foot pre-lit mixed greenery garland. And with these, now this one is the garland itself. It's ice, it's covered with ice. At least it looks like it. And then we also have the spray in that. This little fellow right here, lightweight, only $15. He's wonderful, but he's lightweight, and again, I can use him around a mirror so easily. And what I can do with something like that is I'll take that garland, and you see there's a loop on the end of it. So I can take this and I can split this up as a spray and run part of it over the top of the mirror of the picture and let the rest of it slide down the side of it. But by taking my loop and bending it back, I can just tuck it back into the back side of that mirror or picture. You never even know it's there. And because it's so lightly wired, it can grab onto the corner of the mirror or the picture, as I said, and it's just an easy use. And yet it just fulfills your wish to have something beautiful and green all the way around your room to accent all the beautiful pieces that you have. So as we look through here, and we're seeing again our deer, our bears, and the use of antlers. Don't overlook that for your outdoor look. Mantles seem to always be the challenge to folks because we never know what size they're going to be these days. Sometimes they're as narrow in depth as 3 to 5 inches. That makes it fairly difficult. Now, with this particular mantle, this turned out to be so much fun because of the garland I used on it. It is a 6-foot long garland, 72 inches, and I did put some hooks in here. Now, whether you use the new modern inventions that can just adhere, or you're actually not worried about putting a hole in your mantle. And another way, of course, not necessarily putting it on the front of the mantle, but underneath it. And put your hooks here, and then be able to put your garland here. And again, it's a very simple garland, but it speaks for the space that we're working on because it does have the pine cones and it is a long needle pine garland as it is. Now, in this particular case too, adding the lantern, isn't that fun? You added the lantern, so now here we go again with a little bit of personality, a little bit of movement going on in here. And we've got the red balls going on here, and these actually are plastic. They're not glass, so they're plastic, so that makes your job even easier to work with these. And of course I had to stick in a few of my owls to make sure that everyone knew they were still outdoors and enjoying it. And I'm bringing your eye down to the bottom of the mantle, and across the top I've used our little village houses and churches to accentuate up here and duplicating my nutcrackers. So they're not just in one place. You want to be able to carry a theme all the way around the room. And so my nutcrackers are still here. That's what I'm saying. They're so important, and they just seem to have gotten a resurgence in the past couple of years to using them without feeling like you have to collect them. That's not what I'm saying here. But the little lighted houses and the trees, the trees are important because it always gives you that softness. Whenever I'm working a job, a house, or whatever, and I'm finding something's lacking, it's usually because there's no greenery. And so whether you put a plant in or whatever, but these trees are the perfect snow-dusted trees with berries on them. So it just finishes off the look of this particular mantle.